Wilmington Mayor Dennis Williams is back this week as our first person. Thanks for being here, Mayor.
You're welcome.
First and foremost, it seems like there's always something new to talk about whenever you're on set. Let's talk about crime. I understand with the newly formed homicide unit, they actually logged their first arrest.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel good. You know, when we formed the homicide unit, we listened to the people. The people have spoken, and I said that, you know, I am a elected official that listens to the public. We formed a homicide squad with 5 good detectives, 2 ATF agents, and we went out and did our job diligently. And when you work homicide, you don't stop. You continuously work a case until all the leads are gone and exhausted, or till you make an arrest. I think what happened here is our great detective division, along with our patrol and supplemental patrols, went out and worked, and our detective division continuously worked until they got 2 major leads. I can't speak about that at this point because the case is under investigation.
Okay.
But the 2 major leads broke the case for them and made arrests.
Now, these officers were hired within the department, anywhere in particular?
Well, they're detectives, and we put them in this position because of what their capabilities are, and one of the things we're going to do in the future, we're going to give them some more advanced training, but they also have some advanced people helping them out. And again, when you have a homicide unit never sleeps. That was our motto when I was in homicide.
All right.
We hunt you down and we get you, and that's what our people did, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah, and speaking of your motto, like, you always talk about how you walk the streets yourself. Any crime fighting for you lately?
I'm getting a little too old for that, but I do walk the streets. I go in all neighborhoods. Doesn't matter what the conditions are. I want people to understand that I am their mayor, and I'm available to them, as well as opening our building up to them. I want them to understand that I'm not afraid to go anywhere in this city, and I want them to know that I am their mayor. They can touch me, they can talk to me. I don't want to be isolated. I don't want to be in an ivy tower, and I don't want separation where people feel that they can't communicate with me or I'm anything different than them. I'm only a man.
Okay. Well, what about the economy? Are things finally turning around? We have the ice hockey, boxing, Uber. What else?
Well, we have our second round of champs at the Chase. It looks like it's going to be another sellout. It helps us propel our sports. We want to get minor league hockey into the city of Wilmington. You know, the Westin has opened up, it's filling up, but we have different events, and they're getting a lot of people who's coming in. We've had people even make comments and send emails that they were traveling through Wilmington by way of train. They stopped in, they never realized the city was such a great city. Now they're spending the night here and having dinner here, spending the weekend here. These are the things we want. I ride the train quite a bit when I go to Washington, and I get right on the car that I'm on, and I start shaking everybody's hand and telling them I'm the mayor of Wilmington, and within 2 hours you're going to go through my city. If you want to get off and catch another train, we're one of the 12th busiest train stations in the nation. Come and have dinner, go to a movie, spend the night, and you can catch the train and continue home. Just call your relatives and say we're going to stay in Wilmington, Delaware. Okay. So I'm selling our city as I go to and from Washington, D.C. constantly.
Okay. So people are coming here. I noticed some construction, the 100 block of 9th Street.
Yes.
And some construction at the riverfront, residential.
Yes.
Your goal when you ran was to bring how many people here?
Well, I didn't have a specific number, but now we're shooting for 5,000. But I do know that Wilmington needs more people. You can't continuously draw from a tax base that's the same, because you hurt people. People won't be able to afford it, business or residential. You need new people here. We need more corporations to bring people here. We need more people to live here. If the businesses are not going to expand in the city of Wilmington, I would love to see people come here and live and commute to Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. We had the National Conference of Black Political Scientists. I talked to a young lady who I convinced, she moved here now instead of commuting from New York to D.C. every day. Now she commutes from Wilmington to Washington, and more of that can happen, but we have to sell ourselves. We can't sit on our hands anymore, put blinders on. We have to sell the city. Sometimes I would like to look at, maybe sometimes people would figure that, okay, I won't get a salary if I'm not a commissioned salesman, you know, especially in the economic development area. If people knew their salary depended on bringing new businesses in, I think you would see people out there banging on doors asking everybody to move to Wilmington. But we have a great team there, but I do believe that we all have to sell the city. When people see trash, they have to call it in. When people see trash in front of their houses, they have to pick it up. When people see bad things that happen, they have to call in and support the police. We're all in this together. It's one great big team. And Wilmington is on a national highway. We have 495, 295. We have a major waterway here, which is a jewel. Most mayors in this country say, Dennis, you got it made, man. You got a waterway and you're on the interstate. And we have to use these things to our availability.
Okay, so is that why you guys recently teamed up with Newcastle County Executive Tom Gordon?
Personal friend of mine. Tommy is a good guy, and he's committed to the city of Wilmington. You know, he's helped us with our fire department. He's helped us tremendously with our economic development, and we put two great heads together, Marcus Henry and Jeff Flynn, and these guys have come up with a great plan. And when you
tell me about that plan, though. You recently outlined the blueprint, but how will it help? How will it help Northern Delaware?
Well, we're going to get rid of blight. We're going to hold on to the existing businesses we have to help them expand, small businesses. We're also going to encourage new businesses to come in, and we're also looking at that port deal. If we can get that port deal done with that retainer corp, we can hire hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people at great paying jobs. Now, say for instance we get that port deal done, and we put 500 people to work, making anywhere from $50,000 to $90,000 with overtime. We bring small businesses in. We help the small businesses who are here. With all that disposable income, sky's the limit. When I shoot for minor league hockey and other sports that I don't want to talk about that right now that I'm working on, these folks will come because they know you can fill a stadium up. Look at the Blue Rocks. They've been here for almost 15 years. They filled that stadium up. They've been to several championships. If we keep getting champs at the Chase and they keep selling out like this, we work on the National Wrestling Association. We start to bring them here. Don't you think hockey's going to come?
Okay. Well, let's switch gears and talk about education. Are we exploring a Wilmington school district?
I have gone to 4 of the major schools that are outlined to say that they're in trouble. It amazes me anyway that people say schools are in trouble. The Department of Education should have known this quite a while ago. All of a sudden the schools are in trouble and everybody's blaming the teachers. I don't believe in that philosophy, and this is me, the mayor, speaking.
And I agree. My mother's a teacher. You can't blame.
Can't blame them. They get the kids for 6 hours a day. We have a fundamental problem with people going back home. And this is one of the things that we talked about in our police plan that we're trying to get into. We still do go to people's homes and try to find out what's going on. We're working on a case right now where a kid has been in trouble over and over again. A staff member of mine are going to sit down with his mother and try to find out why this kid keeps getting in trouble. And people say, well, that's not the mayor's job. It is the mayor's job. The mayor should go out and talk to people who are getting in trouble and young kids and try to turn them around. I was a pretty ornery and tough kid coming from a tough area, the city of Wilmington myself. People looked out for me. That's why I'm where I am today. But we need to sit down and be honest with each other and look at all these schools and come up with a viable plan and not point the finger and stop blaming everybody. Okay. That's my position.
All right, well, I enjoyed picking your brain on set today. Thanks as always for being here, of course, Mayor. For those of you at home, you can take a look at this interview by just going online, newsworks.org/Delaware.